You can divide inheritance. When someone dies, what do you do with his wealth? The first thing that you should do is burial. The cost of burial. What is the cost of burial in Perth now?
9 grand.
10 grand maybe.
Yeah. Slightly below. It's between $8,000 to $9,000, depending on which suburb you choose to die and to be buried. Maybe the closer you are to the river with nicer view, beach property, because it's essentially buying real estate. You're buying that piece of land for eternity, and all the process that goes through it. The ghusl, the shroud, the kafan, the praying, and then the transport, and finally your real estate, your final home. Alright, so first of all, from the inheritance you deduct 8,000, you pay the burial cost. Is this a lot? If this is a lot, then I suggest that you find and join a funeral, what do you call that? Khairat? Yeah? Funeral fund. There are Muslim funeral fund that you pay $100 a year. When you pass away, they will cover the cost depending on how long you have been a member. I'm not selling anything. Qaswa doesn't have a funeral fund. You can just search funeral funds. Maybe talk to Faizal or Kafozia. They probably can advise you where to go to, especially if you're Shafi'is. Talk to them. I'm a member of one, but we don't have our own funeral fund.
Should young men do it as well? Should young men join one as well?
Well, you don't know when you die. Now, what happens if you don't have this? No, if you don't have 8,000.
Ask community.
Huh?
Ask community.
So you go to GFM. GoFundMe. And you see this quite often on Facebook. GoFundMe. Someone passed away, they need X amount of money. It is a social responsibility of the Muslims to make sure that people who die are bathed, shroud, buried, prayed upon, and buried. That is part of our collective responsibility. So if, let's say, they don't have this, if we all contribute a little bit here and there, we'll probably meet this $8,000 requirement. Alright, so first of all, burial. And then you have, number 2 is debts. So whatever that is owed, you pay first. This is before any family members get it. Get any share portion, so deduct all the debts. Number 3, will. Alright? Will is up to 1/3. So a person can put in his will that he wants to give 1/3 of his wealth to his favorite cat. He could do that, although it's a waste of money. I know a lot of people tend to do this now. They leave the inheritance to their dog and so on. Sad, but you can give to whoever you want. 1/3 can be given to whoever you want, except the people who are listed in the Quran and the Hadith. If your category, you fall into the category mentioned in Ashabul Farida, that we're going to explain after this, those categories that are mentioned in the Quran. Quran specifically mentioned the mother, the father, If you're in that category, you cannot receive your will. Will is to someone outside the categories mentioned in the Quran. After that, number 4, you have fara'id. This is the fixed amount, portion, fixed percentage that you will get based on the Quran. And balance, number 5, you have what you call the asaba.
Sir, can you repeat number 4?
Fara'id, Ashabul Farida are people that are mentioned specifically in the Quran. 1/3, 2/3. Your percentage is mentioned in the Quran. Asaba are people who get the leftovers. Alright? So Fara'id, sometimes they get more, sometimes they get less. Asaba also, Fara'id, their portion is fixed. That means if, let's say, you are a daughter and the only daughter, the only child and you're a daughter. The only child and a daughter, you get half. Alright? The asaba will get the balance. After deducting this. The asaba will get the balance. That means the balance is now half. Right? But if, let's say, there are 2 daughters or more, so the fara'id will get 2/3, the asaba will get 1/3. And the asaba may be more people, so 1/3 divided through those members. So these are the, you can say fara'id, this is the fixed amount, and this is the leftovers. So leftovers sometimes get a lot, sometimes don't get that much. Okay. Let's look into the Quran, Surah An-Nisa now. With Surah An-Nisa, we'll talk about these two. Because this one, burial, and that you have to pay, because otherwise you get into trouble. You are hanging in between. Allah will not accept. Allah, the Prophet said that Allah can forgive every sin except for that's even martyrs, the shuhada. The only thing that can stop a shaheed from entering Jannah is debts. What happens if you don't pay your debt and you die? If you intend to pay your debt and you just cannot afford to pay your debt, then Allah will forgive you in the akhirah. But you've made all the intentions to pay your debt. You can't. You poor and so on. You die before paying your debt. Allah will settle your debt for you by offering the creditor ajr. So maybe let's say you owe someone $10,000. So Allah says, okay, we give you a free to the creditor, we give you a free upgrade of your Jannah. Settle this guy's debt. Alright. So, but if you purposely do not want to pay, then you will negotiate in akhirah. So the guy will say that I want all your Quran reading reward passed to me. Maybe add that all your salah as well. Maybe on top of that, so you negotiate with this person and say, no, come on, my Quran is not worth $10,000. I read wrong here and there. Come on, yes.
Does this include like bank debts and stuff?
Bank debts as well. Yes, any debts.
Yes.
Yeah,
So if you have like a big mortgage, nobody gets anything from your will.
Yes. That is why you have insurance over your mortgage. Alright? Otherwise, your children may think like, yay, my dad's rich. And then after this bank comes in, everything, that's it, you have nothing left. Yeah. Yes.
So, what if you have a debt and the person you borrowed the money from died?
Yeah. Then it becomes this inheritance.
He died.
No, your creditor dies.
So,
Yeah. So it becomes inheritance. You find their family members who are the inheritors. So if you have, let's say, if it's a big amount, then you find, let's say, you owe someone $100,000. It's a big amount. Then you go and say that, alright, I owe your father this. He passed away. Who are the inheritors? And then you go through the faraid, give it to the leader of the family, and he will distribute it. Still, that is still part of his wealth. Alright?
The will 1/3 is come from Al-Quran or come from
This is from Hadith.
Hadith?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Because the Quran initially said that, so when it comes to the progression of the law of inheritance, the first one is mentioned in Surah Al-Baqarah. Surah Al-Baqarah, ayat كتب عليكم إذا حضر أحدكم الموت أن ترك خيرا الوصية للوالدين والأقربون بالمعروف حقا على المتقين. That's ayah 189 of Surah Al-Baqarah. Right? 189 of Surah Al-Baqarah. That's the first one. Allah says that leave a will for your close family members. That means it's just, you can leave your dad a lot, you can leave your mom. If you like your mom more than your dad, you say that I'm going to leave most of it to my mom, part of it to my dad. I like my cousin better, and so on. So you can live to whoever you want. This is my favorite son. I don't like this son, so I'm going to give this son more. This was the initial one. You have a will to your family members. Give from what is good. And then this ayah came. That Surah An-Nisa came later to abrogate that rule that is fixed. Because now, if you give however you want, Allah mentioned the reason for fara'id is because Allah knows, and this makes it easy for us as Muslims. Because otherwise, you like the son more, you give the son another. This, I just realized that my dad didn't even love me. I'm not going to make dua for him anymore. That's it. You know, now the division is fixed. You can't blame your parents. Allah said that here. That's it. And Allah says, Aba'ukum wa abna'ukum la tadruna ayyuhum aqrabu lakum naf'a. Your parents, your children, you don't know which one is closer and more beneficial to you. Allah knows that. So Allah has given that. Alright. So, يوصيكم الله في أولادكم للذكر مثل حظ الأنثيين. So we have just now the inheritance, the estate. You divide into two. You have the asaba. And then you have the fara'id. Right? Asaba is left over, fara'id is fixed. Who are the, Allah start with asaba first. Asaba here you have your sons and daughters. If you have sons. Alright? Son, if daughters, if there's a son, daughters fall under fara'id, asaba, and the ratio will be 2 to 1. Alright? If you only have daughters, no sons, only daughters meaning 2 or more, they share, their portion is going to be 2/3. So they share 2/3. Alright? But if there is only one daughter, the portion is half. Right? Fara'id, parents. Parents. Now, parents, if children exist, so if there are children, there are kids, if children is true, then their portion is فَلِكُلِّ وَاحِدٍ مِّنْهُمَا sudus, 1/6 each. 1/6, 1/6. Alright? If there are no children, father. In the case of, this is in the case of no children. Alright? The father gets asaba. Alright? And mother, if no children, mother gets 1/3. But if siblings, you have siblings, then mother now gets 1/6. Okay, this is just up and down, not going sideways yet. This is just going father, mother, children. What about husband and wives? So husband, fara'id. Husband, no children, gets half. Yes, children gets 1/4. Wife, children, yes, gets children, no children get 1/4. If children, yes, gets 1/8.
So is that 1/4 of the remaining amount after you give the daughters and the sons, or 1/4 of the
Entire.
total?
1/4 from the total.
Okay.
So they all need to add up eventually.
Yes, they all need to add up eventually. And there will be cases they don't add up. That is why we spoke about in the introduction just now. The laws of the Quran is not Okay, this has to be very careful. The law, the detailed law of the Quran is not necessarily exhaustive in all cases and situations. Just like we have mentioned, the prayer times, the iftar times, they are not exhaustive in all situations and conditions. They may change based on exceptional cases. The same with fara'id, they may have to adapt based on exceptional cases. Because there will be cases, later on what we want to do is you all imagine, simulate your death and you are calculating your own estate. Okay, you have to distribute your own estate. What happens? Alright, now, what if you are not you're not married? So this is another category which is called kalala. Kalala, kalala is someone that doesn't have anyone above him and anyone beneath him. That means no parents and no children. Either parents die before him, or children die before him, or not married, no children. So no above, no beneath. This is kalala. And kalala are of two types. You have what you call the germane and consanguine siblings. What does that mean? Germane and consanguine siblings. Either you share, consanguine is just a fancy legal term that allows lawyers to charge you a bit more because you don't know the meaning. It means that a full brother and a brother or sister, someone that shares same parents, same father, same mother. Germane, same father, different mother. And then you have uterine. Uterine is same mother, different father. Alright. So kalala for uterine, you only have uterine siblings. Now if you have germane or consanguine siblings, uterine siblings don't get anything. They cancel out each other. Alright? So now if you have only uterine siblings, they get 1/6. If there are more than two of them, they share 1/3. Alright? Here, if you have only a sister, then the rule is going to be she gets falaha nis. Alright? The brother becomes asaba. If there is only brother takes asaba. In this case, because he is kalala means no one above him, no one beneath him, so asaba gets 100%, everything. Because there's no one else. So he's lucky. Leftover means he gets everything of the leftover. There's no one to give, he gets everything. Alright? Now, if there are siblings, brothers and sisters, then the ratio is 2:1. Alright. This is everything in Surah An-Nisa 11, 12. So this is this portion. This is 11. This portion is 12. This portion is 176. Alright. Yes.
So I have two sisters, that means...
Alright, now you, easy. There's a rule that different religions do not inherit each other. Oh, you just wasted your time. You never know, they may become Muslims. Yeah. So let's just assume that your sisters are Muslims by the time you passed away, so you will calculate the inheritance for them. Alright, now let's do the exercise. Assume that you're dead. Now, alright. Okay, now in the case where daughters 2/3 or half, what happens with the balance?
Significantly decreased. Significantly decreased.
No. What happens with the balance? Who gets the balance?
Parents.
It goes to the asaba. The asaba, members of the asaba will be the First of all, the son, the father, the brother, the grandfather, the brother from the paternal side. So that means the uncles. So I'll give you an example. I'll do mine. So uno, dua, tres. Because so this is me. I've got a wife, and then I've got my parents, and then I've got 3 daughters. So in the event I die, my daughters will share 2/3. My mother will get
1/6,
1/8.
1/8, 1/6.
1/6.
1/6.
My father will get
Also the rest.
the rest. And my father and
Brothers.
brothers. So I've got 2 brothers. They will. So 2/3, 1/6. Assuming, let's say, because I'm not good with mathematics, I like just round numbers. Let's say I leave behind $100,000. All right. So what's 2/3 of 100,000?
66.
66.
6.6.
66